Hi, I'm Lowell Ullrich of the province, aka Fifth Quarter, for those of you on Twitter. We're here to talk a little bit about the 2012 season that was for the BC Lions, and the way it started and the way it ended, I guess. To me, I guess a couple of the things that sort of stand out in 2012, it being a sort of a transitional year. If you wanted to look at the bigger picture, a year in which Wally Buono handed the reins to Mike Benavides, and everybody sort of wondering just how that transition would go. I thought for the most part, I guess by virtue of the regular season record, it went very well. Benavides was the first 13-win rookie coach in Lions history, and really there was no appreciable change in the overall structure of the team going from Buono to Benavides, I would have to think. Of course, I think most people will remember the year as one where everything went right until they went to one day in which everything went wrong. That being, of course, the West Division final against Calgary at home, over 43,000 in the park, and everybody sort of expecting and almost maybe taking for granted the fact that they had to win a game to get there, and they did not. For me, that game was not lost on the 18th of November. It was lost really, I think, in the month preceding to it, when the Lions were rolling. They had clinched first place, but they went to a game in Calgary late in the year, lost by 20 on the road, a game they didn't need to win and played like they didn't have to win, and kind of things went, I thought, downhill from there. They played so-so in a mean-nothing game at home to close out the season against Saskatchewan, and had a long 2-week wait, which has hurt many teams in the past, coached by Wally and others in this league, going in from that bye week into the West Final. And they stumbled. They weren't ready. They may have over-practiced and shot themselves in the foot defensively, wasting a year in which the Lions had their best year defensively under Rich Stubler, the defensive coordinator. Several outstanding seasons kind of lost. Most notably, I guess, that of Adam Bighill, who signed a contract extension for his efforts after the season. Karan Williams certainly was outstanding as well. Those two guys kind of come to mind when you sort of talk about what happened defensively for BC in 2012. But overall, it was a solid year, a year in which the club could certainly build upon. The question becomes, what exactly will they do, having stumbled so badly in one game? Do they take care of the core of the team and sort of try and weed out some older players, or do they do a complete rebuild? That's sort of the issue going forward into the 2013 season. Most people in the off-season, of course, were talking at its conclusion about Geroy Simon. Would he be back? Will the club be able to sign Travis Lulay to a long-term extension? I would venture to guess that the answer to both of those questions are yes and yes. I think Geroy will come back. I think he'll come back for a lower dollar, but I think he'll come back for the same role that he did played in 2012, which wasn't good enough, but his pay cut will be representative of the year that he had. Lulay, I think that is a foregone conclusion. They have been talking, quietly over the last little while, and I expect once the cap year rolls to 2013, that you will hear about an announcement for them. But 2012 was a breakout year for a lot of players. We mentioned Bighill. Certainly Andrew Harris had a year in which he could build on. A lot of people would remember the year that Khalif Mitchell had, but maybe not for all of the reasons that you might think. A lot of it had to do with what happened off the field than what it did on. But this team certainly has a lot of promise. It has, perhaps a few too many players over the age of 30, and those have to be weeded out. It'll be interesting to see, for example, whether Byron Parker comes back. He was a free agent signing in the off-season, and that may be another player where the Lions may choose to change. But all in all, this team seems to have a fairly decent foundation, and with the right sort of acquisitions on the free agent market in February, you'd have to think that at least they're a playoff contending team going forward. Well, that about does it for 2012. Thanks for reading us, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to being able to chronicle the Lions in 2013 as well. Hope you do the same at theprovince.com.